Why do you ask that I'm wearing a creeper hat? Because I love Minecraft.
You're playing too many video games. Alright, dude, take it off. Super excited.
Adios.
Alright, we've been working on why math facts. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went over some multiplication stuff, and I want you to practice that. But what have we done like this whole time? If we go over, where did we start? We started with counting. And we talked about math being consistent and its quantification.
Consistent and
then we did addition. Okay, William, did you want to come join us?
Multiplication.
That's right. So we did addition, and we did subtraction, and we said subtraction is like
vector addition.
You're right. It's addition with a direction. And then we did multiplication.
Okay.
And what do you think should be next?
Division.
You think that we're actually going to do something else. Before we can do division, we have to do something else. It's going to be a lot more more theory based, or how we thought. Oh, this one's broken.
Okay,
or how we think about
broken.
math, which is okay. All right. So we're going to talk about the difference between discrete and continuous numbers.
Happy.
Hey, dude. So when you first learned to count, how did you learn to count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Awesome. And I love how you did that. There. We went with our fingers a lot, right?
Yeah.
Right? And when you have a finger, I've got one finger, right?
Yeah.
I've got two fingers, right?
Yeah.
I've got, even I did this, it's whether it's a finger or not, right? This is what's called, you could call this discrete counting, because you have one discrete thing and you go to the next discrete thing. Now, do you know another fancy word for fingers?
No.
No. There's a fancy Latin term for fingers. They're called digits.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. This one's the broken one. Throw that one away. So, we talked about, I'm going to spell this wrong.
D-I-V-I.
Discrete. We also talked about digits. Now, digits, you might notice, is similar to the word digital.
Oh!
Okay.
Digital circus.
Why is digital? You talk about digital circus. What is the digital circus?
It's a video game.
It's some weird alternative reality. This here, oh, that's a fancy picture, right?
Yeah, what is that?
This is called a switch gate.
I
And
thought that
the
was
idea here is it's
corn
either
dog.
here or it's there. You come in here and you have a choice. It either has to go here or there. It can't go in between. You have a 0 or a 1, a no or a yes. You could also say binodal. Binodal. Okay, all these things.
You can just hack the system by doing.
Hack it and end up with somewhere in between. All right. Okay. So all these things, you have discrete, digits, digital, binodal. This gate. All these are. It's either one or another, and you can't do a partial jump halfway in between.
Okay.
Now the other idea is more of a continuous nature. Okay. I want you to think about this.
Okay.
Continuous. Now, if I were to get, maybe I should have brought it, a big bag of salt. Right? How would I measure the salt?
By inches?
By inches? Maybe I could do that. I could start piling it up. And how high is that pile of salt? Right? Now,
Inches.
now if you were doing that, would it go from 1 inch all of a sudden 2 inches and then it stay still, and then I'll go suddenly go 3 inches and then it stay still?
No.
No, what happens? It slowly, continuously builds up. Now, we don't do it in height. We don't measure salt in height. What do we use instead of height?
Length.
You could use length. Now, length is a good one for that. Now, if I'm walking down the street, do I jump? Maybe I'm 10 feet from my goal, and then all of a sudden I'm 9 feet from my goal. No, I'm continuously working down that line. Okay.
I'm just drawing.
Oh, you're gonna draw that?
Wait.
Yeah. There's some interesting scientific aspects on this, right? It's a continuous thing. We're constantly moving from one to the next. We're not in these discrete bands. Now, we use the word digital here. Have you ever looked at a digital clock?
No.
No?
What's that?
That's not a digital clock. That's the other type of clock. On a digital clock, those are the ones with the clock face. How do the numbers move? They go one number at a time, and the whole number changes, right? What's the opposite of a digital clock? Do you know?
That clock?
Do you know what the tiny name for that type of clock is?
No.
That type of clock is called an analog clock. I'm not spelling it right. I can't think of it. So why are you sticking your feet on this feet? So analog, right? So, and how does that clock move?
The red arrow is seconds, and these two are.
Is it jumping from spot to spot? No, it's moving continuously. It could be anywhere in between. Now, why is this important? We're talking about math. We talk about, first of all, the way we measure things. Some things we measure discretely. And it actually gets to how we talk about things. What are some things we measure discretely?
Fingers.
Fingers. Good. Can you think of like something you interact with daily that you measure discretely?
A computer.
Well, computers are measuring other things in the background, but what's something on the computer that you might measure discretely?
Pipes on Portal.
All right. Well, that's true. If you're making portals because you're playing Portal, then you're.
Okay, I can show you.
All right.
I did just show me.
What are some other things you measure discretely? Maybe like people are measured discretely, right? Can you have a half a person?
No.
If it's a half a person, it's not a person. Oops. I think you did that stop. No, it's still going. Okay. No, it's too loud, dude. So if you have half a person, it's not a person. It's either one person or two people or three people.
Yeah.
All right. And you can measure your friends. Measure the number of games you have. I've got 17 games. I can't have 17 and a half games.
No, you can't.
All right.
It's not too loud anymore.
No, the controller's too loud, dude. Anyway, so those are things that are all measured discretely. What are some things that we measure more analog or more continuously?
That clock.
Well, think about things that you can have half of.
Pie. A
Pie, yeah. It's kind of hard to measure. You can say, I've got this many pies. But when you talk about, well, we have one pie and each person gets some of that pie, how do we measure that sum of the pie? You're getting distracted. That's why I didn't want the game on. I asked you to turn it off, dude.
Just put it over.
No, dude, turn it off. I asked you to turn it off and I told you not to turn it back on. Thank you. Okay. So, pie, that's one thing.
Yeah.
We talked about salt, like food, things that we weigh.
Yeah.
When we talk about weights, we talk about how much someone weighs. It's not like a discrete amount, like someone's weight just increases in small increments, right?
Yeah.
Those are all continuous measurements. Now, I really like going to pi because that actually goes to the next thing. Before you can do division.
I know how to do division, bro.
What is division?
Like it's vector multiplication.
It's not vector multiplication.
Fractions.
Okay, multiplication. Remember what was multiplication? Multiplication was doing the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
Division is dividing something. So let's say you have a pie. We'll give it a little pie crust all the way around here.
Okay. I'm very good at pie crusts.
You're talking about a pie crust here? I know, I'm not a great artist. There's a little crimped crust. You got the little like spaces. It's nice apple pie. They put a little.
Dad, I'm very good.
Okay, all right. You have a pie, right? Now.
Yeah.
You got a party, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants some pie.
Yeah.
Right?
Or cake.
Does everyone get a whole pie?
No.
Can you break this up discreetly?
Yeah.
Like, well, it's what are we gonna do? We're gonna divide the pie among everyone there. You're right. Division is fractions. You're taking something and you're dividing it up into equal sized pieces. So now, I want to do another one later. You're hard to keep focused, and your brother's on the game again, and you're looking at the game.
Okay.
Because after I've told him 3 times, he still hasn't turned it off. So we lose permission. There will be no more games.
Bye.
We'll see. We'll go into this.
Oopsies.